Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, and we're gonna and bringing you it's my review of My Hero Academia and chapter 221. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie, guys. With One Piece having come out yesterday, and My Hero Academia having come out today, this has come out. This has kind of thrown my a little bit. This has kind of thrown my pretty much reviewing schedule through a bit of a loop, if I'm being honest with you. What I norm like as you know, what I normally do is I review. I'd be reviewing. In this particular case, I'd be reviewing the Promised Neverland anime first, but because of the way that the manga rock. Because of the way that my manga rock app handled this whole thing, like with their with their glitch or whatnot, I don't know. I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna give you the pretty much this one pretty much now, and I'm gonna give you the Promised Neverland one a little bit later in the day, like probably after supper or something like that. I'm gonna give it to you guys, um, which would be pretty much which in Canadian time here would be around, and basically pretty much 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I guess. But so yeah, but with that getting that little inconvenience out of the way, let's get into the chapter itself. And as I said, it was My Hero Academia chapter 221. Uh, so to start off, we learned a lot more about basically Gigantomachia in this chapter, and the thing I found rather interesting in many respects between the characters of basically who basically Gigantomachia is, and who basically Shigaraki are, is that the two of these characters are really not so different in the sense where they're both left abandoned by All For One in order to carry out his legacy, but at the same time, both of these two successors have flaws that doesn't exactly make them the pretty much perfect successor either. In fact, just in those first couple pages alone, you could actually see the realization. You could actually see a bit of realization that was dawning on pretty much Shig. On the bit of realization that was even dawning on pretty much Shig Araki, of how much he realized that they actually may need each other a lot more than they think in order to compensate for the other's weaknesses. In basically Shigaraki's case, for instance, he inherited All For One's cunning and, to a degree, influence. Unfortunately, not so much. Unfortunately, not so much his quirk strength. Um, Whereas Gigantomachia is the exact opposite, having inherited pretty much All For One's strength, but not so much his intelligence. Like it's clear that Gigantomachia is a very emotional person, and he probably like acts first and thinks later. Kind of, he's probably one of those characters for sure. I think he's proven to be one of those characters for sure. So yeah, in a way, whether they realize or not, pretty much both of these characters are both of these guys both Shigaraki and Gigantomachia are successors that kind of complete each other. They're the missing piece to they're the missing piece that's gonna make each other stronger if they that's going to make each other stronger, and they're going to need each other a lot more than they think. Um, with the only hurdle really being of Shigaraki pretty much needing to prove to pretty much to Gentamachia that he is that they are worthy of that he is worthy enough of at least working together with Gigantomachia. That's going to be the difficult part, convincing Gigantomachia of that. And even taking it a step further, in many respects, you could actually see that Gigantomachia is the closest thing to what All For One was trying to achieve with the Nomus. Like Gigantomachia is kind of almost the final product of what All For One was trying to achieve with the Nomus. Like he was trying to get, he was trying to pass on his quirks and power. So yeah, Gigantomachia is kind of the closest thing to that almost. He's like a near perfect Nomu in a way. Um, Now, we get the closest thing to the Doctor's full-on introduction in this chapter, as well as the reveal that he's the one who created High End, which makes sense because obviously when you look at when it comes to pretty much Shigaraki and science, like, don't get me wrong, he's intelligent, but it would be impossible it would kind of be a little impossible for him to create an intelligent Nomu on his own. But having said that, with the introduction of the Doctor, I really want to know how the hell sorry about that. I really want to know how the hell the Doctor has the exact same quirk that pretty much All For One used in his battle with All Might. Because hell, even Compress, he said it. Even Compress had said it himself. That the quirk that the Doctor used in order to transport them to pretty much his like lab, and the quirk that All For One used on that All For One used on that All For One used in his battle with All Might, and used in order to and used on Gran Torino in order to use him as a shield, like. Yeah, they're the exact same quirk. So I really want to know the specifics of that, of how the hell that's even possible. Like, is it one of those things where the Doctor is one of those the closest thing I can kind of gather to that is that the Doctor he might have shared he might have somehow like partially. He might have somehow from shared his quirk with All For One or something like. That's through like a blood thing. I don't know, but he might have just given All For One like a portion of his quirk. I don't know, or if All For One had the original quirk and All For One had shared it with the Doctor. I don't know. Like either way, like I really want to. I really want an explanation of how All For One and the Doctor have the exact same quirk, for sure. That definitely needs a little explaining to me. I also really like how we get a lot of character, and even though we didn't get like a really full, a lot of like a full on introduction, even though we didn't get like a full on reveal of the Doctor, I like how we still got a lot of characterization of himself, and how it's made clear in this chapter that the Doctor himself, he was never really allied with the League of Villains to begin with, even during the time when basically All For One was in charge, but he does have higher expectations of him now that from All For One has been dethroned as the leader, and basically and pretty much Shigaraki has taken up the mantle as the leader now. And overall, I just really like how in these past couple chapters have that feeling that the Doctor has been testing the League of Villains this entire time, and now that they've met face to face, I'm intrigued as to what kind of answer that they're going to see that from Shigaraki comes up with, and how he'll develop from here, because like we've already gotten a lot of development with Shigaraki already. But it'll be curious as to how with the Doctor and him meeting. It'll be curious how this development ends up coming. I guess pretty much full circle almost, or at least to a decent enough conclusion in this particular phase of his development, for sure. But yeah, I'm curious as to what kind of answer that from Shigaraki is gonna come up with. Like, this is like the first time. Like, don't get me wrong, I've always kind of liked the League of Villains in general, but this is the first time I'm like genuinely intrigued by everything that they're doing, for sure. And yeah, I can't exactly end this review without mentioning the brief little tease that we got of the Doctor's appearance at the end of this chapter, because I think after this, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be even harder to deny that there's some kind of connection between the Doctor we basically saw at the beginning of this series and this Doctor, whether it's a sibling thing or they are the same person, Like, what it's going to be like. It's kind of like, I'm not going to lie. It's just the appearance of what we see of the Doctor is so uncanny and similar that it's really kind of hard to in order to just kind of chalk it up as the author just kind of using the same character model. There has to be some kind of connection there. The likeness is just too on point in order to really ignore. So yeah, there has at this point there has to be something there. And in terms of like all the theories people have come up with, I was kind of always in the middle with that. I was always kind of in the middle. I wasn't too on board, but I wasn't gonna deny it either. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.